welcome to my channel. My name's Rita. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in today. I do hope that you will stick around by hitting the subscribe button so you can be part of my family here on YouTube and just help to support my channel. Today's video is a highly requested video, and it's just going to be on how to apply your makeup, how to apply your foundation, setting your foundation, and just getting all of that done. So I was in the middle of doing my makeup, and then I thought it might be a good idea to just record the process as I am actually putting on my makeup. So I'll be showing you all of the products that I'll be adding on and the steps that I'm going to do. So this is going to be a beginner friendly tutorial, if you like. So it's not going to be an intense makeup look. It's simply going to be the application of foundation, setting your foundation, and just a few products that you can add on just to make your makeup look slightly better. So we're going to start off with foundation application. As you can see, I've already done my eyebrows and just a basic eye makeup look. I will do another video where I'll do a full makeup tutorial from brows to eye makeup, just to like everything, contouring, highlighting and all of that. But for today's video, it's just going to be the face. So we're going to be putting on the foundation, setting the foundation, and just adding a little bit of blusher just to make our makeup look nicer. So when you're a beginner and looking for a foundation, just make sure you buy the foundation that is right for your skin type. With skin type, I mean whether you're dry skin, combination skin, or oily skin, foundations are actually tailored to suit different skin types. So make sure that you buy the correct foundation, because that will determine how your makeup stays on and how it applies. So just be aware of that. So we're going to be starting off. I'm not sure yet what foundation I'll be using, but okay, we're going to try this foundation by Rodial. This is a foundation that I have tried only once, and I'm recently trying on new foundations. I've done a few videos on different foundation try-ons and my reviews sort of, or opinions, or how I think about the foundation. So this is one of those that I have tried. I've done a video on this particular one. Now the shade I tried was a little bit too orange, so hopefully this one works fine. Let's see, I'm not going to use the pump. I'm just going to take it and dispense it from the actual bottle. So this is a full coverage foundation, and it is a matte foundation. So I need a foundation brush. So before you put on your foundation, you can put on a primer. I don't always put on a primer, but if you want to, you can put a primer. Again, with a primer, just make sure that it's a correct primer for your skin type. So when you apply foundation, always make sure you start with the center of your face. That makes it easier for you to spread the foundation and work it better into the skin, because what you don't want is to end up with a lot of product right here and then you don't know how to spread it. So always make sure you start off from the center, blend in. If you want coverage or you want to conceal any discolorations or spots, if you dab the foundation in with a brush like that, you start to get coverage, and that will help to conceal anything. So when you apply your foundation, just make sure that it is well blended. You can add on as much as you want, but just make sure that everything blends in together. If you want a fuller coverage, add a bit more, and don't add too much. Add it bit by bit, blend, and then see how much coverage you want to work with. For me, this is okay. I don't really like my foundation too full, so this is a good coverage and it's well blended. So if you're someone who has dark circles, or you just wanted to create a little bit of brightness under your eyes, you can, using a lighter foundation or a concealer. Both of these should not be more than 3 shades lighter than your skin tone, because it becomes a little bit harder to work with. So I'm going to be using another foundation. This is a foundation by Clinique, and it's the Beyond Perfecting foundation and concealer. So this is a 2-in-1. It's a foundation and it's also a concealer. It is actually a full coverage foundation, so you can use it just to conceal parts of your face, you can use it for highlighting, you can use it as a full coverage foundation. And with this one, a little goes a long way. So I like to use this just to highlight, and I'm going to use that under my eyes so we can create a little bit of brightness. So it's just adding a few dots and then blending those into the foundation. Now for this step, you can actually use your own fingers, or you can use a concealer brush. So if I was going to use my finger, I'll just press down and push that concealer or foundation into the first foundation I've applied, so that the two blend. What you will notice is that it will create a lighter base as this blends in, and what you're trying to do is not sweep that foundation, but press it into the other foundation. So you'll notice that this is a full coverage foundation, so it does look quite thick, so you have to be really patient when you're trying to blend this in. And when you use your finger, it actually gives you a fuller coverage. I do like to bring my concealer up as well, because then it creates an angle. You can bring it as low as you want. For mature skin, I would not advise doing a lot of highlighting or bringing it too far down. It's just that area there where my finger is. So as you can see, that is now well blended into that foundation. You can also use a concealer brush. There's so many different types of brushes. You can also use a beauty blender. It's just whatever you're comfortable with when it comes to applying makeup. I find makeup brushes easier to use, but just use whatever you're comfortable with. If you're more comfortable using your fingers, then do that. But whatever you do, just make sure that everything that you add on is very well blended. So whatever products you're putting on, blend, blend, and blend some more. Blending is the key to a flawless finish. So that is in. You can see that we've created some brightness under our eyes. So the next step is to set your foundation. Now, any cream that you put on your face, foundation or liquid foundation or cream, make sure that you're setting every cream or liquid with a powder. You cannot just put foundation on like this and go out. You have to set everything in place. Otherwise, for people with oily skin, that is not going to stay in place. You'll notice that your foundation actually starts to melt off your face, and that is not a good look. So we're going to set this, and to set your face, you can use either a pressed powder. For example, this one by MAC. This is the Studio Fix pressed powder, or you can use a loose powder. Because I have I've got a highlighted region and then the rest of my foundation, I like to use 2 different powders to set this. You don't always have to do this, and if you're starting off, I would just suggest you get one powder, a translucent powder or one suited to your skin tone, because they will both work the same. So I'm going to be using this Mercier translucent powder to set my highlighted area. So this is a loose setting powder, which is white, and I'm going to just grab a brush and I'm going to just set that. So if you wanted to, you can bake, and baking is simply where you put the powders on and leave them for a few minutes to set in before you brush them off. Because this is a translucent powder, it really does not change the color of my makeup, and it doesn't affect it. So even if you don't put it on properly, it doesn't really matter, as long as you've put enough powder to set that foundation and the concealer. So I normally set that area with a different powder, and then I'm going to use exactly the same powder but in a different shade. This is translucent medium deep, so this has a bit of color and it is more suited to darker skin tones. This is all by Mercier. Oops, sorry. So using a powder brush, I'm just going to take some of that. With this particular powder, it's really lightweight, but it is such a good powder that once you put it on, you can also see it just setting everything in place. So when you do makeup, just make sure that everything is set and all you're doing is brushing. You can do exactly the same if you're using a pressed powder. You can use the powder puff that it comes with, the compact comes with, or you can use a brush like I'm using. So after setting your foundation, it should look a bit like this, like give you a matte finish. Now I call this a foundation look. As you can see, the area that we added on the highlight looks a little bit brighter, which is good. At this stage, if you wanted to add on, you can actually add on a little bit of contour, and that just involves you adding a darker powder just to create a little bit of an angle to your face or make your face look smaller. If you didn't want that, you go straight ahead and add a bit of blusher. Never just leave your makeup like this. Just add a little bit more products, so you can either at this stage just put on a bit of blusher, or you can do a bit of a contour. When you do a bit of a powder contour, so I'm using this contour palette and I'm going to take this dark brown shade, and it's simply putting this shade in the hollows of your cheek. So if you go like that and apply that from where your ear starts and into this depth here, and you can take it as far as you want, so just like that. And you can see that you've created a bit of a contour, and that just helps to narrow your face and stitch you in a bit. So this is a powder contour. You can also use that and add that onto your nose if you wanted to. So you don't always have to do a cream contour. You can actually do a powder contour just like that. Now that we've done that, we've got a little bit of a contour, our face looks a little bit more narrow. We go on and add a blusher. Now when it comes to blusher, just make sure you find a comfortable shade that you can wear regularly. Don't just leave your makeup like this. Get a shade that you're comfortable with, a neutral toned color, or if you like a bright color, just to add a little bit more color to the makeup and just break down this foundation look. So I'm going to be using one of my favorite blushers by NARS, and this is in the shade Liberty, and it just looks like that. I have done a collection video on my NARS blushes if you wanted to see some of the shades for ideas. So you take a little bit of a blusher with your blusher brush and just sweep that upwards on your cheek above that line of contour that you created. So it's just that, and you want to sweep everything up. It's almost like you're giving yourself a facelift. after this step, you can already see that you've added a bit of color to your makeup and it's starting to look much better. You've got a lift. You don't just have one complete foundation look. If you wanted a bit of a glow on your cheeks, you can then add on a highlighter, and the highlighter just goes above that blusher. You can use your fingers to apply, or you can use a brush like this, which is a fan brush. I'm going to be using this highlighter by MAC. It's the mineralized skin finish in the shade Gold Deposit. So with this one, you just need a little bit because it goes a long way. So it's a nice bronzy shade, and we're just adding it over the blusher there, just to give you a nice glow, and you can see that everything is going in that angle. So you sweep that just above, and you can add on as much as you want or as little as you want, and that just gives you a nice glow. If you don't have a brush, you can actually use your finger. Just take a little bit and dab it on top of the blusher and make sure you blend it well. If you wanted to, you can also add some on the bridge of your nose. If you've got oily skin, just make sure you don't put too much, because once your oils start to push out and you get oily, it just emphasizes that shine. So I like to just put a little bit at the tip of my nose. And you can also add a bit more to your Cupid's bow if you want, just to give it a nice look. And that is it. You have applied your foundation, you've set your foundation, you've added on a bit of blusher, highlighter, and next what you want to do is just set all of this together. So setting your makeup, you can use a spray. There are many sprays there, and they're all fixing sprays. So I'm going to be using this one by Urban Decay. This is the all-nighter setting spray, and what it does is just to set everything that we've added on together nicely, so it stays on and it stays on long. So, and don't worry, when you put this on, it doesn't take your makeup off, it just sets it all. And once you've set your makeup, you are ready then to finish off whatever else you're doing. Please make sure you add on something onto your lips. Don't do all of this and then not add on, or just add a bit of Vaseline. We're in 2020, we need to do a bit more than just Vaseline. So a nice lipstick will do the job now, or if you're more comfortable doing adding lip gloss, find a comfortable shade that you can wear just to finish off your lovely makeup. So put on your lipstick, put on your gloss, and always finish your makeup off with a mascara, especially if you're wearing eye makeup, because what mascara does, apart from opening your eyes and making them look nicer, it helps to tidy up any residue powder that would have fallen onto the lashes as you were applying your makeup. So make sure you're finishing off your eye makeup with mascara. If you're more comfortable to just do the top, make sure you do the top. If you can also do the bottom, it always looks nice when you do the bottom lashes. So I'm going to be adding on a lipstick by MAC to finish my look. This is in the shade Marrakesh, which is a lovely burnt orange shade, and that's one of my favorite lipstick shades. So I'm going to be adding that on. It is always nice to do a lip liner first before you put on your lipstick, but sometimes I just add it on like this, especially if I'm wearing a matte lipstick. I never really put on lip liner, but lip liner helps your lipstick to stay on long, but it also helps to prevent your lip shade or lipstick feathering out. So after this step, you can then go ahead and do your hair. and you are finished. So you have put on your foundation, you've set your foundation, put on a little bit of blusher, put on a bit of highlighter, give yourself a nice glow. If you wanted to add a bit of a contour, put a bit of a powder contour before you put your blusher on, put your highlighter on, set everything in place, and you're good to go. From all of this, obviously you can see that we used quite a number of products. As a beginner, I would suggest to start off, get a foundation that matches your skin tone and your skin type, a powder to set everything. If you wanted a concealer to create brightness or highlighting, you can also get a concealer. Just make sure it's a shade or two lighter than your skin tone, but not too light. A setting powder, one setting powder will do the job. It will set everything. You don't have to have two separate setting powders. A blusher is very, very important. It changes the look of your makeup. You don't want your boring makeup that just looks like one block of color. You want to add a little bit more color around, so a blusher would be good. And if you want to get a bit of a glow, you can add on a highlighter. With blushers, you can get blushers that are matte, or you can get blushes that have a bit more shimmer in them. The shimmery blushes are good because then you don't really need to have a highlighter. So if you wanted to save money, you can just buy a blusher with shimmer. That way you don't really need to add a little bit of a highlighter. The blusher already has the shimmer and it will give you that nice glow. A mascara, I always say, is very, very important, especially if you do eye makeup. But even if you haven't done eye makeup, mascara just does a little bit more. It helps, it opens up your eyes, it makes your eyes look nicer when you've got makeup on, and it just creates a nicer look. And then always, please make sure you finish your makeup with a nice lipstick or a nice lip gloss, and not the standard Vaseline. So that is my 2 cents on applying makeup, how to put on your foundation, setting, and just ideas of products to buy. I will list all the products that we used in this video in the description box, and as always, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Also remember to share this video because somebody else might find it useful, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do so you can keep up with more videos like this and support my channel. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. I'll be doing a lot more videos like this. If you have any other video suggestions as well, of things that you would like me to do, feel free to leave those in the comment section. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I was helpful enough, and I hope you enjoy applying your makeup. And yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one.